Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. I'm Darlene and I will be doing your reading here in just a moment. First, let me thank you for coming in and clicking on my video. I am very, very grateful. And any interaction you have with my video, whether that's hitting the like button or subscribing if you'd like to see more of what I do here, I am very, very grateful. We're all busy people. There's a lot of good readers here on YouTube, and I'm just so grateful that you gave me a chance and wanted to hear what I had to say today. So thank you. Today, I have a gentleman coming through who is, well, I'm trying to get a sense of his age, but that's not accurate because they don't always come through to me the age that they die, for example, or when they cross over. So we'll just say that's irrelevant. He worked at one time on an assembly line at some kind of an automobile plant, okay? And I know nowadays that is so automated, most of that's done by machines, right? So I don't know what this time frame is. It seems like it was a minute ago, a while back. But he wants that to be the backstory because this message he's bringing through today is for the nephew, and I'll get into that in a minute. He's not showing me a whole lot about himself. I think I was going to say except this one little silly detail, but whatever, it may be the one thing that, will help you to recognize who this is. And that's often why they give me those kinds of little details. He's showing me himself going up, because they showed me my grandmother had this glass candy jar. It's about this tall. I still have it. And my mother had it, and now it's been passed down to me. That she would keep little candies and different things in, mostly hard candies. My grandmother actually kept those little striped peppermint, individually wrapped peppermints in it. And a lot of the time my mother did too, but then she would add in other things like butterscotch or whatever. So I don't know what the hard candy was that was in this dish, but they're showing me this man before he went to work in the mornings. He's got his, I'm calling it a uniform. It looks kind of like coveralls, but whatever he wore, I think everybody wore the same sort of thing to, like I said, work on this assembly line. But he showed me he would go into the candy jar every day and pick up, a few candies, not a lot, but enough, maybe a handful, I don't know, 2, 3, a handful, put them in his pocket. And then throughout the day, when he would feel himself getting bored or getting, not bored so much, just, want a little something to get him through the day, he would reach down in his pocket and eat these little hard candies. And it was just kind of a thing that everybody knew he had that candy on him. I don't know if it was his family. I don't know. Like I said, I just bring through this information, y'all. I don't know sometimes. But he is coming through today to talk to his nephew. So this message for you, the viewer, would be for his nephew. Because he's talking about how happy he was at his job. Now, it seemed, by most of our standards, maybe a boring job or a, I don't know, maybe even a thankless job. I don't mean that to sound like a judgment. I'm just saying that personally, I know my personality, I don't think I could do that kind of repetitive task all day, every day. I just know myself, but apparently he really loved his job. He didn't like it, he loved it. And he was known for being kind of that happy guy who just was happy doing his thing. He'd come to work, he'd work all day and go home. He was just sort of that easygoing person. But he wants to make the point that he loved his job, and that's relative, and I'm coming to that shortly. So he's now showing me the nephew, you the viewer, And that's why I said I think this was some time ago, because I think when you were young, like a young boy, I see him bringing you like these little cars, not like matchbook cars, I don't think. This was more like, you know, this big, where, and I think it was the car, whoever the manufacturer was that you worked for in this automobile plant, I guess you call it. I think they gave those out, maybe. Anyway, you brought those to him. I think you brought him more than one, but I'm seeing one in particular that he really loved. You the viewer, sorry, really loved. But it could have been more than that. And he's telling me that the story is that you started your love of cars at that point, early on. You know, I had two sons, both grown up with their own families now, but my younger son in particular, but he would have these, seemed like hundreds of them, I'm sure there weren't, but a lot of these little bitty matchbox cars, and he would just sit and play with those for hours, line them all up, and you know, I mean, it was just fascinating to watch how much joy he got out of that. So it's kind of giving me that vibe of you, and you enjoyed playing with those cars, but it went a step beyond that. For you, it started a curiosity, a love, and a passion for automobiles that, when you became an adult, blossomed into a career. So what he's showing me is that you, the viewer, became, and I'm hearing the word engineer. You went to college, you got educated, but you became an engineer, and it's like they're showing me this picture of what you're one of the people that designs the cars. Like you, I don't know if you do it on a CAD or some kind of design thing, and then you do a mock-up. I don't know how all that process works. I have no clue. But he keeps showing me that you were one of a team of people that contributes to designing cars, these automobiles, whatever they are. Now, all this is coming to a point here, because he came through. I kept saying, well, why is this important? I always have to know why. It's not just enough that they're telling me a story. For me, I want to know why. This has to be relative to you, the viewer, in some way, because I do this for the highest good of all, but I do this so that it can in some way bring love and light into the world when I do these readings. And so that's the premise. So it has to have some message for you, the viewer, that will uplift you in some way. So he's telling me that you either are dealing with this now, or you will be dealing with it in the near future. That you are thinking about changing jobs, that you are thinking about, I believe, going to a different company and possibly even a different industry. Still using your engineering skills, but changing course, if you will. And he wants to tell you, this is very specific, he wants to say, because he's telling me they're offering you more money, they're even offering you a higher position, so it looks really, really good, and there's no reason for you to believe that it wouldn't be. And it's not telling me that it necessarily would be a bad move, but he is wanting you to know that. But what you can't see that he can see, and this is why he's coming through, is he wants to come back to that loving what you do. He's saying, yeah, there's a lot more money and maybe even some prestige and, you know, title, whatever. He said, but you won't really be doing what you love doing. He said that's what got him through every day of his working life, was that he loved what he was doing. And he wants to bring you back to that very basic tenet, love what you do. And all of those things are important in life. We all have to have money, and we all need to, you know, look forward and try to better ourselves. But he just making the point, he sees down the road that you won't really be doing what you truly love, which to me, according to the story, is you have a passion for this design in automobiles, some kind of automobile. And he's also telling me what you don't see and you can't see that he can see is that and he's saying a year, maybe two, but more likely about a year from now, there's going to be a shift where you are currently in your current company. There's going to be a shift, and it will mean more money for you. It will be a promotion, and he kept, and he, what was it you said? What was the term? One second, please. I'm listening. Okay, some kind of it's a promotion, but I've heard team leader or supervisor, that kind of thing. So where right now you might just be one member of a team, he's saying you're going to be leading a team. And most importantly, doing what you love. He keeps coming back to that, doing what you love. That's what makes us happy in life. You know, the money's nice, it buys us a lot of nice things and it provides us comfort, but it's not really what makes us happy. And that's certainly true for all of us if we really think about it. And he's just wanting to bring that through, because again, when they're on the other side, they have the privilege and the ability to see things in our future, projected future. Not everything's written in stone, but you know, the probabilities of us when we go down a certain path, if we continue down that certain path, there are probabilities, and so that's what they see that we can't see. So he wants to bring that through, that the probability is that you won't be happy if you take this new position. But if you stay where you are and you're patient, the probability is not only will your situation improve, but you'll still get to be doing what you love doing. And that's the most important thing. All right, yay! So if you stayed to the end, thank you very much. I appreciate you so much. Also, I have other readings on my channel. I do tarot readings, Scorpio readings, twin flame readings, soulmate readings, that kind of thing. So if that interests you, please check those out, those playlists. And I hope to see you all again soon. I try to do these readings once a week. And if you are interested in me doing another live reading, please leave that in the comments below. I'm just, you know, waiting maybe until I feel inspired to do another one of those, and you can ask me questions. So thank you all again for watching, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.